I've come to Utrecht, the fourth and final city on my journey. I'm going to see it firsthand, this carrot and stick approach. Utrecht were the first firm to get supporters home, but they were the first to be heavily policed. Many of the Utrecht firm are on banning orders and have done time for football violence. They don't have the numbers like Ajax and Feyenoord, but they're a tight-knit firm.
Fuck you all.
Fuck you.
Utrecht for life! Hey, boom!
The Utrecht crew are hardcore, and these boys are not always kind to people who come to visit them.
There was a train coming to Utrecht. Train with Feyenoord hooligans, shouting at us, calling us names. But we are standing there near the rail track. We have bottles filled with petrol and oil. The best mixture to keep it burning. So they come by and I saw them, the fuckers, with all the long hairs in the neck.
Dirty.
Still, sometimes I heard them shout, "Ah! Fuckers!" Yeah, because why? The train was burning, and the train was burning into the rail station. Feyenoord, fuck you all. Yeah! Yeah! That's what I got to say, you know. No more, no less.
The roof's
on fire! We don't need a mother, let the fucking mother burn! Burn, motherfucker! Burn!
I arranged to meet Bobby. He was going to introduce me to the firm. Bobby was one of Utrecht's most respected hooligans. Only in Holland would this make him an ideal candidate to be the president of the supporters club. Believe it or not, he's in discussion with the football club's board. Utrecht has got the biggest supporters home in Europe, so I wanted Bobby to show me around. Quite an English feel to it.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because we think Utrecht is a typical of English football club.
Okay.
And we like to have the same idea as the English
Yeah, I love
firms.
You've got an old Dixon and Dock Green up there, that's quite mad.
Dock Green.
You've got a nice West Ham scarf, that's the best thing you've got. You've got an old Man United scarf up there, and I'll help you take that down later. Tetley's bitter, I mean, this is, I love it now.
Yes.
I've never seen nothing like this. You've got the ground just there, the pitch just there, you know?
It's very...
I mean, that's pretty amazing.
It's very unique in Holland. Okay, I will show you the court.
I love it.
This is our Bunnikside. This is the famous side of here. It started the football violence.
Your firm will be plotted here, yeah?
Yes.
And all the families around here?
That's the main tribune, the family tribune, and the
away supporters?
Yes, the away
Wow,
supporters.
it's just amazing that you've got the supporters club right there.
Yes.
You know, it's so you're not, you know, you're a firm, but at the same time you've been allowed that place in this club. I think that's quite amazing. There's a reason for that. Obviously, you've got a certain amount of trust with the club. Yes.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about your role as the president.
Yes. Now I'm the president for maybe 2.5 years. I represent 6,000 supporters.
Okay.
And maybe 200 to 300 hooligans. Because
Okay.
I was a former hooligan. I was as fanatic as the other guys, and I can talk with anyone, and that's why all the guys ask me if I want to do this.
Okay, so you can deal with the hardcore hooligans, and you can also deal with, you know, the sensible people at the same time.
Yes, I also have to talk with the club, with the football club.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, I already do that.
See, that's a good thing. See, we don't come across that very often. You know, you have one thing. You know, you can't really flitter between both. I'm very impressed about that. It was time to talk to some of the hardcore hooligans. These boys will take on anyone who wants it. They're known as the Bunnikside, and they're infamous for using weapons. You know, I was a bit nervous, so it was good to get some beers down us for a bit of Dutch courage. Cheers, Mel, son. Thank you very much. Only a bit nervous. First of all, I'm going to ask you the obvious question. Cheers, mate. Cheers, cheers. Right.
On Chelsea.
Who are Chelsea? Who are the Bunnikside? Right.
It all started in the early 70s
We were all standing on this side of the stadium, called the Bunnikside. Bunnik is a town, little town, behind the stand, and that's why the name comes from.
Now, in 1980, I heard that you smashed up your own stadium. Why?
It was the last match of the season. The stadium should be demolished for the new stadium. So we thought, well, let's do it ourselves. And we did.
So let's just get this straight. These guys actually tore down their old stadium because a new one was going to be built. It needed to be demolished, and the boys thought they were the best people for the job.
We thought, well, it's normal. It's normal behavior. It's going to be teared apart. Let's do it ourselves. But it's been on television for weeks. It went all over the world. For years after, when you went on holidays abroad, and you were saying, oh, I'm from Utrecht. Oh, you teared out the stadium. Yes.
Yeah, have a part of that, look.
Let's see it.
Well, here you have a
This is
picture of
one
it.
of the...
Here you see the boys in action.
Would you say hooliganism in Holland is becoming more dangerous?
The danger lies in the fact that it's not more possible to have an all-out fight. So if you want to do some damage to someone else, you have to do it fast and you have to use something to get a result. So that makes it more dangerous than it used to be, because almost everybody now uses weapons, and especially knives.
What about you lot? Do you use weapons, or sometimes you have to, yeah?
We were famous for using bicycle chains.
Chain gang.
Okay.
And bats, knives, Stanley knives,
Okay.
anything that can be used. Bottles.
Okay. What about any of you's ever been to prison? Anyone been, yeah?
I've sitting for 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
Just for fighting
Fighting against Ajax.
against Ajax? With bicycle chains, or,
He also.
yeah? The pair of you?
But there were also Ajax supporters in the prison.
Ah,
And
okay.
they don't want to fight with us in the prison.
No. No. Not when you got him sitting next to you, I wouldn't have thought, you know what I mean? Not when you got him sitting next to you, a proper mad boat, you know what I mean? It could definitely have a tear up, there's no two ways about that.
Prison, fines and banning orders are the price to pay as a hooligan. I'd started to gain the trust of these guys. They told me how the police were cracking down on them. Theo's been in the firm for 25 years. He's had 2 bans and served prison time for football violence. Theo showed me the security around the ground.
There's a security box. They control the whole stadium with cameras. Everywhere hangs cameras. In the stadium sits police, but also security from Utrecht, undercover police officers. They may be a friend of you, you don't know.
The surveillance is not just in the stadium. The guys took me back inside the supporters' home to talk about how this was also being watched by police with hidden cameras.
They listen, you know, they follow the boys, and the boys now in jail.
Theo also told me how the authorities had shut down the supporters' home, but then reopened it. The police realised it was easier to keep an eye on the firm if they knew where they were.
We still open because they know when we close, 1,500 boys came outside, and then you have more problems than now.
I'd seen how the hooligans were integrated into the clubs and realised that this is why it's so hard to get rid of them. Despite tougher policing and new measures, hooliganism is not going away.